Hello, welcome back. I thought today we'd do an almighty picture that had some huge mountains in it, and maybe today we'll also work a little bit on putting some clouds floating in front of the mountains. This is always something that's very difficult to do, so I'll try to show you how to do that. And I hope you have a canvas set up on your almighty easel and cool drink at hand, and let's go here. I'm going to start with a little bit of Alizarin Crimson and a touch of Prussian blue. And maybe we'll just make a sky that's sort of a lavender type and sort of test it. There we go. I already have magic white on the canvas, so we're just literally mixing paint right here on the canvas. Okay. And we'll just bring this down to about like so. There we go. Now I'll go into just a little Prussian blue. And we'll lay this right in like so. There we go. Okay. And while we have the old brush dirty here, I'll take a little phthalo green and Prussian blue, and we'll lay in some water here. Okay. And already we have a masterpiece for a Museum of Modern Art somewhere. Okay, now we'll clean the old brush. Be sure it's good and dry. And then this is just a clean, dry brush, and we're just going to bring these two colors together here. Okay. Just so you have a nice blending. You don't want to be able to tell where one stops and the other one starts. And we'll hypnotize it and sort of blend it out. Okay, now let's take the fan brush, a little bit of titanium white mixed with a touch of permanent red, just to give it a little pinkish hue. We don't want to set these clouds on fire. All we want to do is give it just a little hue here, just a little pinkish hue. And we'll push us in some nice little clouds here. You're pushing very hard just to push the value right into the canvas. And maybe we'll put a little cloud floating around right here. Okay. And we'll take and gently blend that together. Very light, delicate touch. Don't overwork these clouds. Very, very easy to overwork them. And we'll hypnotize them. Okay, let's build us an almighty mountain. We'll take a little bit of blue and some brown, touch of alizarin, and a little bit of white. There we go. And mix your color marbly. Don't mix it dead. Okay, let's start way up here. Put us an almighty mountain. Maybe there's a nice little peak over here. Let this drop down. And we're really pushing this paint into the canvas. Maybe we'll have another little peak over in here. And we'll take off all the excess paint. Take a big brush and pull that down just to make sure we've got all the paint off of it that can come off. All we want to leave is the value in the canvas, the color. Okay. Now we'll start with a little bit of titanium white, and I'm going to mix a little bit of brown and blue with it just to gray it down. Just a little bit. And we can start putting some highlights on this almighty mountain. Maybe we'll have a little peak rolling right down through there. light's hitting right up here. And for a shadow color, we'll take a little bit of blue and brown and white, mixed to a little darker value. And we'll just lay us some shadows right in here. Okay, and each little highlight needs its own private shadow. Maybe we'll add another little peak here. This is your mountain, so you can add what you want to on it. Okay. Now let's diffuse the bottom of it. And here we're just gently tapping. Don't want to destroy, just diffuse. And then we'll pull just to take out the little tap marks. Okay, now we'll lay some clouds on top of the mountain. And I've added a little bit of magic white with my paint just to make it a little bit thinner. As you remember our golden rule here, a thin paint will stick to a thick paint. So maybe we'll have a little cloud here that just floats right across the mountain. Okay. Maybe right up here there's one too. Seems like I remember one up here. Okay. Now very carefully we'll blend this in. Super light touch here. Okay, let's take and let's work on this peak now. Just let him travel down and just come right down in the foreground here. Okay, give him a few little shadows so he stands out as an individual. And maybe a few little shadows in here. Okay, and once again we'll diffuse this just to lay some mist in here. And now maybe another little layer of clouds. We'll add a little more magic white to keep the paint thin. And maybe this one just drops right out of the sky here. And plays around the bottom. There we go. Just nice soft little clouds. Okay, this is a very, very delicate touch. There. And maybe we'll just take and maybe there's another little stone right in here that travels around. Just to show you how to continually bring things forward here. And we need this to be a little darker than the background back here. And we'll lay some highlights right on here. Let that paint break. Let it break so you have all these little holes in it. Let some of the dark show through. maybe just a few little clouds, little misty areas floating around in here. This creates a tremendous illusion of distance. Makes things far, far away. Okay, now we'll just hypnotize this a little touch. And it's vitally important when you're doing this at home that you use a paint that's very, very firm. Otherwise, you have nothing that's thinner to go over the top of it. So be sure to use a very firm paint. Okay, let's mix this up a little color. We'll add a little sap green, a little more blue in here. Maybe just a touch more alizarin. There we go, nice color. And don't mix it dead. Remember not to mix it dead. And we'll take this old big brush and let's put us some little foothills right in here. And don't let the size of this big brush scare you away. Use it. It does fantastic things. Okay, now I'm going to give it just a little upward sweep to make it look like little trees way back in the distance. There we go. And then we'll tap a little bit here, just to lay some mist in between these. We'll have two of them, I think. Okay, now we'll add a little more of the brown and a little more of the blue, just to darken it up a little bit here. All the same colors, blue, brown, little alizarin, sap. Just to make it a little bit darker so it'll look like it's in front. There we go. And we'll lay another little ridge of foothills right down through there. Give those a little upward swirl, just barely touching the canvas here. Okay. Now we can start coming forward. And we'll take a little bit of sap green mixed with a little bit of alizarin. And then I'll mix that into some yellow. Make sort of a dirty green color. And we'll start putting some little trees that are way back here. Load a lot of paint in your brush and just push upward. There. All these little things happening way back in the distance. And maybe just a little touch of yellow right here. And just let this blend right with the color that you have. Let it go. Okay. Now I'm going to take and pull just the edges down. Don't overwork this because you're working with yellow into the blue water and it'll just turn a bright green on you. Just pull it down, hypnotize it a little bit, and leave it alone. Okay. Yeah, we can put a few little sticks here and there. Just cutting through the paint is all we're doing. Make it look like little trunks way back in the distance. Okay. We'll take just a little touch of phthalo green mixed with a cad yellow and a little bit of permanent red. And we'll put some highlights on these trees. Just where the sun's running through there and sparkling on top of them. There we go. Okay, now some straight Van Dyke brown. And we just lay us a little bit of dirt and gravel and stuff in here. Okay. This is straight magic white, and we're just going to lay it right underneath here, just to give us a little water line. Now, when you're doing this at home, you'll have a lot more time than we do here. You can take your time and put in all the little fantastic details that you want to back here. Okay, let's begin moving this in a little bit closer, using the same colors. And we'll just start coming forward. Maybe we need a nice, tall little tree right here. Okay, let's put us a little bush over here also. Can't leave this side out. There we go. Just lay that in. You know, we'd love to hear from you and love to hear how you're doing with all this and if it's helping you. So we'd like to know what you want to see on these shows. If you want to see different things painted, different techniques, we'd also maybe like to in the future bring some of the better instructors that we have met across the United States, and maybe we'll have them demonstrate some unbelievable techniques that can be done. But we need to know what you want, so let us know. Okay, now let's take a little bit of the brown and we'll just lay some little trunks near in there. And maybe we'll give this little bush one here. Okay. And we'll put some highlights on that. Still fascinates me how this works and how beautifully it works. Okay, let's see. Maybe we need a little... There, that's it. And down in here we need some little bushes that are hiding underneath this bigger one. And we'll put some little reflections in the water. There we go. Little red fireball there. Okay. A little touch more of the magic white, just to thin it down a touch. Let's go over here and put some nice little highlights on this tree. There we go. Leave a lot of these dark areas in here. They create the shadows that you need so desperately. And we'll put a little color right here for reflections. Then we can lay a little color right on top to give us nice, beautiful reflections. Okay, right there. Okay. Now, let's take a little more of the straight brown. And a little bit right along here. We'll just draw in some, little bit of shore, little bank here. Okay. Lay a little highlight on top of that. And a touch here. Okay, let's see what we got going here. Looks like we have a lot of space up in here that we really need to do something with. So let's do this. This is Alizarin Crimson, a little bit of sap green. Whew. Now we got to do something up here, since we throwed all this color in here. Okay. There we go. Maybe we'll put a little bit right out here, too. Looks so good, we might as well not stop. Okay, and we'll take a little bit of Van Dyke brown, and let's do us an almighty tree coming right up through here. There he is. Okay, and you're just sort of pulling this sideways to lay the paint right on the canvas. Let it pull off the knife. And maybe we can give him some little arms out here. There we go. And there's another one. And maybe this is a separate little entity. Little tree by itself growing down here. Just a little sprout off the big one. Okay. Now we can put some highlights on these leaves. And just let it touch. Bend the bristles just the least little bit. There we go. Few over here. Isn't that fantastic that you can create an almighty tree that fast? Okay, we'll put a little highlight here on this one too. Don't want him to feel left out. Let's put a little something on here to give us a feel of bark. Just here and there. There we go. Let's see. Maybe over here. Let's be brave. Let's put an old dead tree right up through here. And this old tree is tired. He's just about to fall down. Not too much left for him. Give him a little tired arm. Okay, there we go. And here and there. Just let these happen. Okay. Good. Maybe another little stick right there. Alrighty. Now maybe we'll do something a little touch different here. I'm going to take a little bit of the permanent red and sort of highlight this old tree. Just run it down through there. There we go. And if we wanted to make a few more little branches on this tree, we can take a little bit of the thin oil and thin this down, and we can lay just a few more little branches here and there. Just a few that's hanging on. Most of them have already fallen off. Okay, now we'll put something here to cover up his foot so it pushes him back down in there. Let's do the same thing over here. Need to push him back into the picture. And maybe we can take a little more of the sap green and alizarin combination, and let's do this. Maybe we'll just project this right on out toward us here. We'll give him some highlights. Okay, there we go. And by now, if you're painting at home with us, you should begin having a picture that's getting close to being completed. Should have lifted your spirits up very high. And ready to go to another one. We just put a little magic white under here to give us a little water line. Like so. And let's put a few little sticks here and there. Okay, there. Now this is a most interesting picture because of the mountains. And once again, the biggest thing we'd like for you to learn from this one is the laying of clouds in front of mountains and how to make these mountains be pushed far, far away. Okay, these little sticks show all different planes. They create the illusion of distance. Okay, I think this one's just about ready for a signature. So we'll take a little of the thin oil, mix it up real good, make it almost like water here. And we'll just lay a little signature right there. And I'm very fortunate because I have a short name, so it only takes me a second to do so. And I think we'll call that one finished. If we mess with it anymore, we're going to start piddling it to death. Do your picture, get your dream out on canvas, and leave it alone. Don't fiddle with it all day. In the time you spend fiddling, you could do another picture. So, thank you very, very much for watching us. We hope to see you again. And until then, happy painting.